So, welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. In this podcast, I think we wanted to do something a little bit different. Just our conversation beforehand, we had something planned, but I think it will be, more effective. So, slightly off the topic of property investment, market updates, sentiments, all of this sort of stuff. But specifically mindset and habits and how that actually helps a property investor. It's something that isn't really discussed as often. I think mindset is applicable to maybe there's that misconceptions about entrepreneurship and perhaps maybe something else. But when it comes to being a property investor, no one discusses what's the right mindset for a property investor. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Max, Ben, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, all good.
Always. Energy's high. Conversations are good, especially coming to the office on a Saturday.
Yeah.
The energy's different coming to London, and obviously when we're going out just before it, the conversation's just kind of starting. It just gives the energy high, man. High frequencies, always.
Yeah. How important is it to have that extra day, or maybe the extra 2 days on the weekend, in your work week, Monday to Friday?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's massive because, like we were saying the other day, it sort of sets you up for the next week essentially. Coming on a Saturday as well, I think it's more of a, as we were saying, like mindset. It's more of a conscious thing as well, subconscious thing. You feel like most people don't generally come in on a weekend, so you feel like you're conquering something. You're ahead of the game, ahead of the competition, which again is just driving you on to sort of do more. So I think it's major, and it's just keeping that momentum going. Definitely, what we were saying as well, routines I think is key. We all get up, I get up around 5:45 each morning. Get up, do my little protein shake, get dressed, all meet up for gym in the morning. I think that's a very good place to start the day. If you're lifting, if you're doing bench press 100 kilos or whatever,
definitely wakes you up.
It definitely wakes you up. You need,
definitely gets you going.
Get a bit of a sweat on. So I don't know. How do you find the gym in the morning? Do you generally? How do you?
It's good. I think it's a different energy when you come away from the.
Because you've not missed a day yet.
Yeah.
So we've been in the office now.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guys know. We've been in the office now for, was this the 5th week? No, sorry.
No, less than that.
2.5.
2.5. So we got in 1st of June.
End of the 3rd week. This week, I think.
About
3 weeks anyway.
3 weeks. Yeah.
You've not missed a day.
Yeah.
No.
Have you missed a day?
I haven't missed a day.
You've not missed a day. I know. I'll put my hands up. I've missed a couple of days.
Look at the camera and say
it. Right. But you've not. Yeah.
I think it's different. Again, luckily for me, in some terms, I'm not having to travel as far. I think with me, if I miss a day, I know that.
You're around the corner.
There's no excuse for me. I'm 15. Well, if you want to put an exact time, 13-minute walk away from the gym every morning. So, but I think it just gives you that different energy. It kind of wakes your brain up as well. You got to supplement yourself in the morning, have a little bit of energy to go into the gym with. Like you said, hydrate yourself. To me, in the morning, it's important. But you come out with a different energy. I think it's just starting the day right. I don't have to get up as early as you guys. But again, I'm still doing the same thing.
And that's what I was going to say. That's the thing. You probably won't. Obviously, you probably won't notice it as much. Obviously, because you've not missed a day at the gym. But obviously, where I have, you can tell the difference. You're just operating on a different level throughout the day, because, especially with our little circle. Because if I don't come in for gym in the morning, I know you guys have. So already it's like, right, it's a loss. I've taken an L.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That resentment as well.
You know what I mean? I feel it in myself. I'm like, I don't want to go gym to necessarily have a good body. So, people, you look big, girls, whatever. I generally do it more for my mindset, because, some people, like, depression's obviously a big thing nowadays.
Yeah, mental health.
It generally keeps me at a certain level where I'm feeling good about myself. Dopamine, endorphins. And just as we say, it just sets you up for the day. That's I think it's key.
It's that saying, either you run the day or the day runs you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you set yourself up right from the outset.
Yeah.
And I think that rings true with me, what you've said. For me, it's not about of course, byproduct of it having a good body and a good shape and etc. and being healthy. But I think specifically it's just having that checkpoint in the day before, because what we do on the day to day, I like to consider all of us and the team high performers in terms of what we could be doing, and we speak with other high performers, right? We're in property investment, right? And typically the type of people we speak with, they are either business owners, they're top performers in their industry.
Yeah.
And for anyone to save up a large sum of money, bar inheritance, they've got to be doing something right.
Yeah.
So the thing for me, and it's always been, was if I get on the phone with someone in the morning or whatever it may be, if I've only just woken up, let's say an hour ago, it's taken me 30 minutes to commute, and I'm sitting at my desk.
Still waking up. You're still in that.
How can I be speaking with someone who's, let's say, we're dealing with hundreds of thousands of pounds on the other end of the call, and that person has had his morning routine, he's woken up, he's read the news, he's spoken with, probably other stuff before me, kissed his kids or her kids, and just they've had an amazing routine. And I'm just kind of like still in what's the two modes, beta and
alpha.
Yeah, well, I can't remember which one's which, but I'm in that. I'm just not on their frequency yet.
Yeah.
So my point is to have that routine beforehand. It feels like you've said, you've set yourself up, and you're kind of you're already ahead. And if you're speaking to the speaker we speak to every day, at least we're on that same level, so that we can also match their frequency. If that doesn't sound so esoteric and fairy dust, what do you guys think?
It's that thing that you said, what we spoke about a few times. If you're not doing it, someone else is. Whether it's something like a completely different, whether it's obviously doing different things in different aspects. But no, I think it's key to switch your mind on. We've got to be on it every day. We're doing a lot, and it's that a lot of outbound and what we're doing. So we've got to give. If we're not giving it ourselves, we can't give it back out. So it's like that energy you're receiving, you've got to give that energy back out. If you're not on that frequency from the start, just sets your day up right. And I think what's good about us going to the gym and just starting that day right, it's that accountability as well. All performing together and pushing each other. So it just kind of gets that structure.
Yeah. That's a big thing, the accountability. That's a big thing because,
massive.
Like you said the other day, you could imagine if we was just off running around doing our own thing, obviously not together as a team, how much less likely you are to sort of wake up, and if you felt like, today's not the day for me, how more of a what's the word? You're more likely to, not go gym or whatever. But because, as I say, I know you guys are coming in. I don't want to be, I want to be the winner.
I don't want to be that guy.
I'm competitive. I don't want to be the guy that's come with me. It's like we were saying to Ethan the other day. He's still got the membership. Yeah. He's gonna see this one. You get me back on one of the other ones. But it's like that's a big thing. But yeah, routines. So we come in, gym.
Yeah. Talk us through your routine. I think we'll share it all about it. Talk us through your routine.
Well, as I say, similar up until probably as soon as we get in the office. Very similar. So wake up, 5:45. Wake up, get dressed, have a shake, have a protein shake, get on the train. Probably on the train I'll be listening to a phone call with a client the day before. Just obviously reflect on it, see how the conversation went. How could I, give more value to them on the next call? Ask a better question. Like we were saying, being more conscious on the phone when you're actually talking to someone. Understanding their situation, or I might be listening to a podcast, Grant Cardone, or Gary. Not really too much Gary Vee anymore, to be fair, but more Grant Cardone. Get in the gym. Get in the gym. 45-minute workout. Get in the office about 8:30. Have a little breakfast, banana, peanuts, whatever, and then the morning meeting. Have the morning meeting. That sort of tees us up. What we're grateful for, wins over the last 24 hours, targets for the day, any challenges. That sort of then again is making you more conscious about where you're going, what you're doing, who you're becoming, and then really check my emails, any deals that may have been sent from the suppliers, any new deals, sort of speak with them, and obviously go over the deals that have been sent, and then really, I guess from there, it's just sort of, there's not really a set day unless there's meetings or whatever. But yeah, whatever happens throughout the day, So that's really the bulk of it, and then I guess.
Yeah, how do you close your day off?
How do I, in terms of close? Yeah, I guess at the moment that's one thing I've probably got to.
That's what I was going to say after.
I've got a ritual that I'm doing in the evening. If that's reading or meditating or anything like that. I'm not really doing anything like that at the moment, but I definitely think it's something. Because it just sort of winds you down. That you need a little half an hour just to wind down, because again. when we're operating at the level we are, amount of conversations we're having, it's like Wolf of Wall Street. It's like numbers, you know what I mean? So you need something just to reflect on the day, and then you can move on to the next day. So
yeah.
But what about you? What's your routine?
The first thing I would say is mine always sort of evolves. Depending on the circumstances, the situation. So when I mean evolves, like every maybe 6 months. I like to test a few things and see what works and what doesn't work. Okay. So for example, when we were in lockdown, I had a different routine to now. Yeah. But currently at the moment, I think myself and Ethan, I've got the furthest journey at the moment. So I just have to have that structure. So I get up at 5:30. I just make sure that I've got my phone, for instance, in the other room, and I have the bedroom door open. That allows me to hear the alarm, but also means that I can get up and I have to switch off the alarm physically, right? Which means there's no snoozing. There's no I'm up, and I've got an alarm that's quite loud. So it's like either I have to get up or my partner's, nudging me to get up. No, just kidding. But it just systemizes that whole getting up experience that people struggle with. Once I'm up, I'm standing and a little bit conscious, and I'm a few yards away from the bathroom.
Do you ever have it where you don't want to get up? Or have you sort of built that into yourself?
Thursday, you've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of gym, and you can really start to feel that toll. Right. And then I get my second wind Thursday, Friday, but you have that little bit of doubt. But overall, I think.
What do you do if you do feel like you don't want to go in? Do you have anything
when I do, it's interesting that you said that. It's a really good question. What do I do? Yeah. I've got this thing in my mind. I think everyone knows Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
I used to listen to him a lot back in 2015 and 16, and then kind of like fizzled out, and then he's come back into my sort of
life.
Yeah. There's one thing he said, and this rings true with me. We have late nights, we have early starts, and the reality is, I don't think you are physically tired. It's really just like your eyes, and you've got to get up, and you got to push. But what gets me up specifically is that more being an example to myself, but also to you guys to a certain degree. If I'm not there, it's like, well, hang on a minute, you set this sort of kind of thing
Precedent,
up. Precedent, and it's like, well, so that's definitely something that pushes me. But I think more specifically, it's myself, and it's taken quite some time to overcome that. Secondly, being grateful for the situation. Like I ask myself, what am I actually getting up for?
Yeah,
and I'm actually getting up to a successful business, a healthy life, good family, good friends. It sounds very, like I said, fairy, it's taken me some time to how to actually be grateful.
Process it.
The process of being grateful. But in reality, it's like, let's go, let's go. And also, like, by the time I'm up, I'm happy.
That's it.
Some water. It's all that little window.
There's a 5-minute window where it's like,
you
either get up the
exactly,
bed or,
exactly. Yeah. And then one last thing to process it is just counting down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Everyone knows me on Instagram for it. Vamos. And that's it. Listen, like vamos, let's go. That's it. Nothing crazy or. I don't have like lights going off in my house or whatever,
of course.
But that's what it is, the main thing. So once I'm up, I get the obviously I get the coffee going, and then I get the I've got like these little, not like tablets with all the nutrients, like
right,
vitamins.
Does that
all of that sort of stuff.
Washed down by the Cure?
By the what?
The Cure.
No, Huel is only when I get into the office,
right,
so I stock them up here. But before that, it's tablet, put it in water, let it dissolve, and then I brush my teeth, shower, People ask why I take a shower before you go to the gym and everything, but that just, like I said, wakes me up. It's my routine. I can't leave the
cold
door without
shower
it.
or
No, I would like to
not
say
yet,
yeah.
not yet,
not yet, not yet. No, not
Yeah.
just yet,
Yeah.
not just yet. It just wakes me up. I feel good to go, and then from there, once I then just go look out the window, balcony, just like reflect. Then obviously dry myself off, meditate. Not for long, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes, and then drink the coffee, drink the
What do you think
something
about
to drink
having
and I'm off.
coffee like in the morning? Because I know we had a coffee today, but it's like if you have obviously a lot of people like entrepreneurs or whatever, coffee gets them going, sets them up for the day. But is it a case of like if you're having that every day, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a drug, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coffee's a drug. It's addicting. That's why
Agreed.
people have it, right?
Picks up coffee, as you say it.
yeah, little pick me up. Is it a case of, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing having a coffee in the morning? Because say you don't have it,
Yeah.
right?
feel
say
groggy.
Is it a case of
Yeah.
should you need it?
I don't know. I think it comes down to every person. Different people work in different ways. So I think it may give you that, if you need it to give you that kind of boost and obviously wake you up and perfect. But some people don't want to use it because they like the taste of it. So it's like anything. If it's needed in your personal situation, I don't think it's needed. I think you could probably do other things to wake you up. Again, going to the gym, getting straight out, getting out of the bed, putting different ways, getting a cold shower. There's so many different ways. But I think with caffeine and coffee, it's the same thing. But it depends on who you are as a person, an individual, and really where it lies in your routine. I like it. I don't have it every morning, but I do like having a coffee. It does give
Do you
me
see
that
a
little
difference?
boost.
Do you see a difference with that, or?
Depends how I'm feeling. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel the full effects, but I know that if I'm knackered or tired, it kind of gives you that little pick me up, that boost, and it tastes nice as well. So, I don't know. I'm in a bit of the middle. I think it depends who you are, but I've got nothing against it.
I used to drink a lot of coffee during the day. I've restricted it to only once, and that's in the morning. And then if somebody like gets me a coffee, then it's like, okay, fine, But other than that, I know exactly what you mean because I've done a lot of research into it. And it's not ideal, but for me, it's part of my morning experience. Having that coffee, the first sip, it's a very small one as well, and it's just like grateful, ready for the day. It's more the emotion attached to it rather than the pick me up. The pick me up is just a byproduct because it's coffee, and that's it. That's just for me, I reckon.
What about you, Ben?
Yeah, well, definitely. I think that resonate with yourself, and only having like in certain parts of the day. If I have it, I know people who drink coffee throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
I don't know how people go to bed without it like that. Up all
And even
night,
during the day, like before lunch, after breakfast, after lunch, 4 or 5 o'clock, just before the end of the day. It's like,
not for me.
Whoa, I mean, when we used to work together at the other firm, we used to do that. Remember, we used to get the coffee.
Well,
we used to get the coffee in the morning, coffee just before lunch, after lunch, and then just at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think there's a reason why that people have coffee? Because it's just drilled in you from early. Everyone has a coffee when they wake up.
No,
so
I think it's
a
definitely
normal
that.
thing.
It's
a normal thing to do.
I hate coffee before. Well, when I started working, like for example, when I started working in the city, it was like I hated coffee for the first 2 months. I was like, "What, you guys? I didn't like the smell of it." Even that instant coffee, the instant one. I thought to myself, if I'm ever gonna have coffee, it'll be from a coffee shop, not the instant one. And 3 months in, I'm drinking the instant coffee. So
I know I had it today, and I seem to be having more and more. Right, we get to about 1 o'clock. Right, that's when the dip. There's a little dip.
The little.
And it's like at the moment around the office, that seems to be the case of it's coffee time. After lunch.
Well, who's spearheading that? I think you're the one that's spearheading
No, not me.
Before that, I don't think we were having coffee really.
It was only because we got the machine, really. I think, but
if
that machine wasn't there,
you can use different ways of doing it. But getting into coffee was completely. I didn't like it, and then it was just on. Obviously, when I used to work on, obviously people go to people's houses, plastering and stuff back in the day. It's because the difference of how I got into it because people. When you ask for tea, you have to have it. You kind of like it a certain way. So most of the time, it didn't really taste the way you kind of wanted it to. Whereas it's hard to not make a coffee that doesn't taste nice. So I started drinking then because I thought, it tastes nice. So I just got into drinking coffee that way. And now I like it. But I think you can use different things to use to build up that energy.
Well, I'll tell you what works well in the morning. I said this to you, before going gym. As soon as you wake up, right, and the best way to do this as well, so you don't. Obviously not do it, is just before you go to bed, pint of water. Put it next
There
to
was another pint.
pint of Stella.
Pint of Stella. I wouldn't be surprised.
So pint of water
Yeah.
next to your bedside table. Wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
As soon as you wake up, down it, because literally, honestly, I've done it.
Really?
When you do it for the first
Make
couple
me
of
sick
days,
that quick.
hey,
Nice.
That would make me sick. Yeah.
you got to do it. The
Yeah.
first time you do it, obviously after that, it's natural, so you just feel sort of the same. But it's only
Yeah.
when you stop doing it, you come back to it, that's when you feel it again. You just feel like a rush of energy because your whole body is just getting, flushed with like fresh, new water. Essentially, that wakes me up in the morning. That's one thing I need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Nah,
If you try
I've
it,
seen that.
yeah.
I've seen that. But then kind of going back to the point of like routines and that. Do you think obviously there's so many different? I don't know if you've seen it or noticed this from like obviously the people you listen to or people you see on through social media or everyone
Yeah.
talks about.
Mm.
There's so many different things that you can do to implement it, and
Yeah.
I used to get overwhelmed. I used to want to try. I think
Yeah.
it's important that you don't have to
You
have
don't
a
have
full
to.
routine in place. I'm going to go into mine in a second because again, it's not in place again. I just moved down to London. It's kind of shook it up in different things. So it's getting used to living away from home and not having the necessity of things as much been doing for me. It's all been
Yeah.
doing it for
You're
myself.
finding
but-
your feet, you're adapting essentially.
yeah, of course. But again, when I was especially in lockdown last year, there's so many people doing different things, and you feel
Yeah.
like you had to do this, do that, do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's like no, find what works for yourself, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Precisely, and that's why I was saying
It
mine
evolves.
evolves. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it
it's never
changes.
the same,
Like, yeah,
100%. But I think it's important to try different things. I used to try cold showers, and the good thing about cold showers, it does different things with your body, like with muscles. It wakes you up, and it's good to practice breathing techniques in the shower because if you go into a cold shower and you're not breathing correctly,
You're gonna.
that's when you go into shock.
shock. Yeah.
And you can, when I've noticed when I've done it, you can completely block it out by just breathing slowly and you can concentrate on the breath. And you can have the cold shower, and it's completely different. But yeah, tried waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, different meditating, the 5 a.m. miracle morning routine.
Yeah.
Tried it all, but it's
Yeah.
like you've got to find what really works for yourself. Just don't get so hepped up on obviously this guy's doing it because it's worked
No.
for him.
Yeah, no, it
Doesn't
does.
mean it's going to work for you. Everyone's
Absolutely.
different.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just take little bits,
Mm.
and then like you say, over time it will evolve.
Yeah.
Just take little bits and you can
Absolutely.
stick.
Yeah, different things work in different ways. It's
Yeah.
interesting, and I think going kind of to mine, obviously.
On that note, yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
I wanna hear it, yeah.
What's your
Yeah,
one?
no, it's interesting because again, last year, previous years, when I was even back in the day when I was plastering in the morning, used to be up 15 minutes, get ready out the door because I didn't need to do anything else. I was just straight because that's what it was like back then.
Well,
But now, obviously, tried different things in lockdown, tried different things, and obviously since I've got here, obviously it's different. And just going to bed, just kind of getting up, doing the same, and then obviously you're living by yourself, so you're thinking all different things. So it's just getting up, obviously getting ready, having like a banana snack to eat. I want to eat more. Like I said, I want to start getting the shakes down me and making my own milk, like the shakes in the morning.
Yeah.
But it's pretty straightforward. There's not really much to my routine in the morning. It's just my alarm per situation. I used to get into a bad habit of I can't really put my phone into obviously sharing it with other people. I don't think they'll be too impressed with the alarm going off in the hallway. But yeah, no, I think I'm still in a bad habit of that, which needs to be changed in terms of setting. I set 3 alarms, and I know I'm getting up on the second one. So the first one's inevitably pointless, but I get up at 6:20. Up, get ready, and then ready for the day. Water, brush my teeth, wash. And then kind of straight to the gym with you guys. So and it's nice. I think what I'm quite lucky with, obviously having that. I don't know if it's the same with you guys. Obviously, you have that little bit of walk to work and just get the train. But it's
that's
it's
true.
refreshing.
Actually, that's
It's
true.
refreshing.
100%, yeah.
I've lost my headphones. So I need to get some more headphones. But to minutes the last week, I've just been thinking to myself. It's been nice actually not listening to anything in the morning.
That's what I was thinking. Like, go
I
on.
think I'm going to say
Yeah, you
similar
say
to
it. Go
you.
on.
I said, when I used to drive to work, I used to prefer it because when you're the one that's essentially in control, you're like the what's the word? How am I going to explain this? You're the one in control. You're the one who's setting precedent on getting to work. You're not relying on anyone else. So again, it's another subconscious thing where you're like, right, I'm the one who's in control. I'm the one who's getting myself to work. Whereas when you jump on the train, it's like, I guess it can be good as well because you're not having to concentrate on getting to where you're going and you can spend time doing other things. But again, it's like subconsciously, my mum's, it's almost like your mum's taking you to work or something like that. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
I don't know. I
Depends.
just don't feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's a weird one. I think getting on the train, it's a little bit like having a driver. If you look at it, 'cause you can place your mindset in two different places, right? The beauty of getting on the train is, well, the tube is another thing in London. You know, that is just that rat race feel. But if you're on like a national rail, a bit more space, air conditioning, it's like you're in your own thingy, you know, carriage, whatever. You can do more things. That's very good time in the day to read podcasts, especially in our routines, right? Morning and night and during the day. You can do a lot more things. I think driving is dead time for me. Dead time. When I'm driving, sorry for everyone who's listening to this, but that's really when I catch up with people who I wouldn't give away that time during the day, if that makes sense, because I couldn't. I give calls to friends, old friends, people like missed calls, for example. I get back to some family members during that driving time.
What? Because you can't have a conversation with?
Well, we can't have it at like 2:00, for example. You know, your cousin calls you or your friend calls you or whatever it may be. Not because you don't love them or you don't want to, but I mean, we can't. Not that we can't. It's just.
Well, if you're working, you're working.
Yeah, that's it. So if I am driving, that's the sort of stuff I'll do, or listen to podcast or something like that. But the train in the morning does realign me a little bit, I reckon.
I think it's just utilising any time you have with what you do. I think everyone's different as well. I think everyone, again, we all think in different ways, and that's why it's important that you're not going to be the carbon copy of someone else. We're all different, so it's suiting that. I think again, something you mentioned there about the mindset change of the perspective you think of in that situation, and kind of one that even like a little thing about what I went through last night. Just a thought, and going back to kind of the gratitude and how important it is, kind of remembering yourself and why you're grateful for stuff, and going that way. And I was obviously going to watch the game. I thought, I'll just go in by myself. So I was like, I'd love to be watching it with someone. I was like, I'm not watching it with anyone, just myself. And I thought, you know what, I'm glad I'm just being able to go and watch the game. There's other people who sat down, you've got the opportunity to go somewhere where they want, or
and touching on that, right? I don't know. Did you cover this? You know what Ben's story and coming down and that. Did you say that? Or?
I think in the previous podcast. So before this one is going out.
No, it's the one when you spilt the water. And
is it that one?
Yeah.
So did we finish that?
No, we started again and then went into the second one. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So basically, if you've not explained it or whatever, the reason Ben, right? You know, obviously, like you said, on your own or whatever. Right, the commitment he's made. Right, people say they're committed to being successful. Right, come down from Manchester. Right, I think you told you. I think you found out. When did you find out?
It was a Friday.
It was a Friday.
And then the Tuesday we found somewhere, and then I was here on the Sunday.
Literally told your mum.
Told my mum on 5 days later. Because
that is commitment. That is commitment. You're leaving all your family.
You packed up literally within 7 days.
Yeah.
And moved.
But I think again, it's that perspective. You have that vision. I think sometimes when things are right, and I think again, it's sort of things fall to place and just work. Like I think, the universe works in magical ways. I think that's another day for another conversation and all that stuff, and that kind of area. But it's like how it had, like, you know what I mean. The conversations just come up, and it's just timing. Things. It's all about timing. It's not sometimes what you know. It's who you know and how you kind of. Again, obviously, what you know as well. That's like the byproduct of being where you got to get to. But I think things happen for a reason. It's just all about timing and just being grateful and just kind of putting yourself out there, putting the work in different places, and just.
Quick question of you: was there ever? Well, there probably wasn't, because I know how you think. But do you think there would have ever been a scenario where you thought maybe coming down was not the right decision? Like say there was an opportunity doing something else. I don't know, up in Manchester. Like, was it a case of you just wanted to come here because of what you was going to do, or because it was a new environment? Was there any sort of doubt in your mind that you was going to come, or was it just a case of, right, this is what I need to do, this is the opportunity, I'm there?
Yeah, so I think from, again, moving down, if I stayed in Manchester, I think, because it wasn't like other opportunities or anything else, obviously I was fully invested. Once you're making a move like that, you know what I mean, I was fully invested for last, obviously up until that point. But I think if I stayed in Manchester, I think there's levels to obviously what. If I stayed at home doing it from a room, not being in the environment, it's obviously it made sense being in and around it, being with you guys
in the mix.
You know what I mean? We spent a lot of time together so far. It's only been 3 weeks. You know what I mean? You learn a lot, and the difference of when you're in the office and the space, the stuff you can learn, stuff you can implement. It made sense to say like go from level. I'd probably still be at level 1, going into like level 2 very slowly. 1 month go by. By the 3rd month, you might get to like level 5. Whereas in the 1st month, you get to level 5. You know what I mean? So it's that, and I think not to put any shade on any other cities in the country, but I think London, man, it's probably one of the, I'd say the 2nd best city in the country behind Manchester. But no, everything is just, it's where it's at. It just made sense. It's fast paced. It's where everything's at. Again, that's why I like Manchester. There's something for everyone, and then this is just Manchester on steroids.
What is the one? Well, I guess obviously you've not ventured out into the whole of London. You've seen certain areas, certain aspects of it, and in terms of experiences as well. But what would you say, based on what you have, right, been exposed to, the main difference with London to Manchester? So I don't think I've not been in Manchester myself, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's different though, because didn't stay in the city. I wasn't living in the city in Manchester, so it's different. So I'm actually experiencing a kind of different thing. So we're in the city all the time in Manchester, so it is different. So I think now at the minute it's just obviously being in the office, being there. The feeling, I know you guys get it as well. The feeling of when you're walking just into the area, the Liverpool Street, the centre, city of London, and you're walking up to the office. It's just that. It's just energy. It's just a good feeling. You know you're going to go and have a good day. You're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, and we're always looking to increase the capacity. It's that innovation, the thoughts and the conversations just flow, and it's just a completely different energy. So it made sense. There was nothing that I thought I've not had a doubt in my mind moving here. And I still haven't. I don't think I will do. I think it's just going to elevate me to the next level, and I think it's important. So I love it. No regrets, no mistakes, and I think it's worth just taking that. I think you got to do. I think sometimes in life you just got to take that
take a chance, take a risk.
Yeah.
And just on that as well, I think any decision I've ever made, right, be it I don't know, financially, a job, wanting to buy I don't know, something, clothes or something like that. Mainly like job related though. I've never done it having all the facts.
Yeah.
And no, I was gonna spud me there.
Don't worry, mate.
Done that the other day. It's like shit. But like I've never had all the facts. Right. This is the opportunity. This is how it's gonna look. I've literally just had a small understanding and just took the risk. And I don't know if it's because I did have a level of information which then made me have an educated to make an educated decision, or it just happened, luck or whatever. But it worked out for the better, right? And the bigger risks I've taken, I've got a bigger.
Yeah, it's always worked out.
It's like, and this is true for me as well. The harder I work, the luckier I get. Right, the more you go to the gym, the more you are consistent at something on a regular basis, the better you naturally get it, and naturally things come your way. Just from activity, from putting, as you say, energy out there, and I've had in my time 2 main jobs, 2 apprenticeships, quantity surveyor, site manager. And at the time, 17 in the first one as a quantity surveyor. At the time, leaving that for my mum and dad, it was a big decision. Like I was making, I was 17, probably as a quantity surveyor. You've got the opportunity to earn, I don't know, 50, 100 grand or whatever it is a year, and to come out of that, knowing that if you stayed there, you've got university paid for you. You're in a big company. The opportunity's there. To leave that as a 17-year-old, for me, well, I guess I was quite naive. I just thought, right, this is it. I'm doing it. I'm just going to go take the risk. Tried starting my own business at the time. Thought I'd run with it. Obviously, it didn't work out. I learned from it. I moved on, And that's, again, one of the reasons why I'm here today. If I didn't leave that job, you know, I probably would have still been there today. And as I say, I think taking a risk, you're never going to know if it was the right or wrong decision, you know. But at the end of the day, if you've got a vision for yourself of how you want your life to work, take the risk. You know, what's going to happen? You're just going to go get another job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that. Of course, it is subjective. You know, if you've got, not to say you can't do it, but if you've got a mortgage, family, kids, you know, perhaps maybe slightly different.
Yeah, it's dependent on your situation. You've got to make sense.
Subjective.
It needs to make sense for you.
Yeah.
Right, it needs to make sense in a case of, okay, your bottom line.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, your net position has to. You can't drop below your net position. So, for example, you're 70. What's the worst thing that can happen? You go back to your room, right, under the roof of your parents, and you restart. You go again, right. For as long as I would say you're not going to be in a worse position. Even if you are, well, that's for the selected few.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've all made those decisions, including myself. Like, there's some decisions where, like, reward is, let's say, tenfold.
Yeah.
But I could potentially go backwards. Fivefold.
It's a gamble.
You know, and it goes back to having, you know, enough information for you to make the move, but you're not going to see 5 moves, 10 moves ahead, for example. But at least, you know, the reward is enough, and that's why I say it's like our clients, for example. The beauty of property is that you do have that security. It's an asset. But by the same token, you know, we could go to war, England, and you know, all the houses get bombed. You know, extreme example. And not just property investors, in business, in life, in marriage. Like, that's a huge commitment. You know, none of us are married, but the point is that I as long as, like I said, you can withstand that fire. Yeah. And you're not going to get completely burned, then I think you just go for it. Go for it.
Go on.
Go on.
I was going to say, it depends on your situation. Like with me, there's nothing overhead that I had. It was not. It didn't. It did not make sense to move here, and I think it's just.
Because I was going to say, you know, you said you touched on 17.
Yeah.
Right. Is that still the same at, say, 22, 23? Like you was 23, made that decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, look at it. Look at it. Like, honestly, sometimes we fall out of it because we've all achieved so much at such a young age, because it's all relative, because we started at a young age, if you think about it. So I think even still at 23, 20 years from now, like, we're still relatively young.
I think so.
20 years from there, we're hitting our peak. 20 years from there, we're now really sort of enjoying the fruit of, and we're giving it back, sort of thing. So a lot can happen in 20 years as well, if you think about it.
Yes.
And in 5 years. So I think whether you're 17, 20, 32, 42, 52, like, we are a species that can literally change the direction of our lives within a year or 5 years, for example. So, for example, if you look at, you know, a pigeon or bird or lion, right? Yeah. They always result to what they're genetically coded to do, programmed to do. If you look at a lot of these birds in Africa or some parts of the world, when it's time to fly west, they fly west. If it's time to fly east, they fly east. Yeah. If you go and ask the bird when it's time for them to fly west, tell them to fly east. There's something in them that just wouldn't allow them to do that. They can't break from that because they're genetically coded. They don't have the ability to become lateral. Us humans, we can essentially change the direction of our lives overnight and then carry that. So the last 5 years of your life, you can change that in the next 5 years. So that's why I say, whether you're 17, 27, 37, 47, you can change the direction of your life within,
Yeah, again, that's a great example. Again, it wasn't. This is not like the first. I've seen this as like again going back to it's just another part of the journey. It's the next step because
absolutely.
Like I decided like when I was I remember it was like 3-4 years ago. I decided to quit plastering because I wasn't at that time. It wasn't working for me. I didn't like the situation I was in, and I was open. I was
he was open to ideas.
Yeah, I've seen a different lifestyle. I got opened up to like obviously the forex, the social media marketing, all the affiliate marketing, network marketing. I even sold perfumes because I knew the system of obviously network marketing would make me part of like a journey to get me to where I wanted to get to. The mindset going out there, a lad selling perfumes was and setting that account up. It changed my thing. I just didn't really care. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I knew what I was doing and what I was setting out to do. But yeah, it's all different parts. It kind of tees you up, and it's just different parts of the journey.
And what is that as well? Because just on that, right, you're saying you're selling perfumes, network marketing, whatever. Obviously, they're all completely different things right now. Now, property. But what was it you was trying to do with all of them things? What was the what's the word? The denominator with all of what was you trying to get to that you thought those things would allow you to do?
Because it just opened me up to a different kind of lifestyle in terms of how I wanted to operate.
More money, freedom, choice.
I think again, a lot of it at the start was seeing other people's lifestyles, whether it's in that Instagram lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When you're young, that's cool. And then I had the shiny penny syndrome, and that didn't go away for. This is probably the first. When I got into property, that's when it started structuring. But again, a lot inside when you first open to the property space, it can be overwhelming because there's so many different strategies, so many different courses, so many different ways to do things and how to get into it, and you're wanting this people showing it in a different way, only showing the good, not showing the bad. There's a lot that comes with it. So I think with that, I just was seeing all these different things. I knew it was something that I could do and get my hands into, but I just never stuck at it for long enough. It was just that opening up to something else of where I thought I could get to. So it's just exploring. I think with me, it's all about, again, the things I've done quite a lot of different jobs, different things, but it's not using it as having the perspective that it's not wasted time. It's using it as experiences and the stuff you learn from it. Even like I didn't need you in college, didn't do anything, but even like working with when we settled like the Audacity,
it's a little
things from there. Those little things made sense. So I think everything you do, it's just finding where you fit into the space.
Generally, on that, I think coming out of school, right, 15, right.
Pressure.
Why are you going and doing one job? And then that's it. I would just go, for 3 months I'm going to do this, next 3 months I'm going to do this. Because like you say, over the course of, say, 2 years, if you're going to break them down into 3 months, how was it, 3, 6, 9, 12, right? That's 8 different experiences, right, within 2 years. And like you say, you won't know where that can then relate in the future.
Absolutely.
You just want to be able to pick up as much as you can.
Oh, absolutely.
And I almost feel like I'd done. I quit more. I quit quicker instead of thinking, let me just see how this one goes. I should have just quit and done something else.
Yeah. And
that's the only way I've learned.
Yeah, I wouldn't even look at it as quit as well. It's just like
not quit.
Yeah, because it's a little bit. I think we've all done that as well, including myself. First job was paper round. Literally,
I've done that, yeah.
Literally, like, I'm talking about waking up 5 a.m. in the morning. You're like 10 or 11 years old. Yeah. 5 a.m.
Was that old?
5 a.m. Yeah.
I was not that young, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get my mum in trouble here. So why on earth your kid going out that early? But in my mind, it's like, kids talking about afraid of the dark. Genuinely, right? Yeah. Like, if I look back at it, that was quite scary. Especially in the winter times, it's dark, like really dark. You see fox. I'm getting into like, people think I'm making this sort of stuff up. I'm like 11 years old, getting into a fight with a fox at like 5:30 in the morning. No. Do you know what I mean? Like that can go anywhere, get anyhow. So going into that, and I think the important thing is not necessarily quitting. The point of the story is going into like paper round, becoming the best at it, right, and being indispensable to the point where they need you to do X, Y, and Z, and increasing your pay. I think within the space of 5 months, I went from, I think it was £20 a week. I thought I was a multi-millionaire. 20 quid a week to I think it was 35 a week. And then all of a sudden they were like, look, 55 quid a week, but I want you to do this. Yeah. And just done that, and I thought £55 a week. You know what I mean? What? You know, I'm 12, 13 years old. I'm literally going into school like a baller.
Yeah.
But I just saved, and then left that. Went into a bunch of different restaurants, like working waiter jobs, kitchen porter.
Has that helped you with clients as well, like front facing, because you're having to basically
100% giving. I just,
you know,
even before, like the paper round example, they used to give you bonuses, the customers or the people, and I used to do a paper round in Hampstead. And if anyone knows, like Hampstead is a very affluent area.
Right.
These guys don't muck about in terms of bonuses, you know?
Right, yeah.
And that also is what triggered my mindset in terms of there's a whole nother world. So I'm here, 11 years old, 5:30 in the morning. All the houses I'm going to, they're also awake. I'm thinking, hang on, why are you awake? Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? My parents are sleeping and everyone else I know is normally sleeping. But their kids are up, they're getting breakfast is getting ready. The dads are coming back from gym. The mom's reading on, I'm talking about an island, their kitchen. It was a massive island. I used to look through the window just to see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? And these guys are all very affluent people, and they're all getting ready. There used to be like nice cars out front, and all of this was just being programmed in my mind to the point where I was like, what I lived through, I don't think that's the best lifestyle. I didn't know what, I couldn't tell you back then, but I just knew at the time that I definitely wanted more.
You had something to compare it to.
100%. That was my measurement. I was like, I want to be living the way these guys are. I want to have an island in the kitchen. I've grown up. There is no space in my kitchen for an island. The island is the size of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So little things like that at a very young age started to really trigger things in my mind. So just to answer your question, that made me want to perform at the best level even at that. So they'll give you bonuses and all of this sort of stuff, but I wanted to please them because in my mind, not because please them to be stuck up to them or anything like that, or a beg, but I wanted to be at their level because I think they're also performing very high level. So why would I be average? So when it's raining, I used to see other paper people throw it on the floor. I used to pick up their paper and post it in. You know what I mean? I had no reason to do that just because it's like little things. So at a very young age, I started to develop that. Then I went to a restaurant. I think it was like 14, maybe 15. Started working there, doing like cleaning dishes to the point just sharp, like doing things very quickly. And then they made me do other things and just become the best at that. And then left. And then, like I said, just to carry those experiences to now dealing with hundreds of thousands of pounds, millions of pounds, dealing with clients. It's the same principle. You guys know, every day in the office, I absolutely hate. One thing I hate is just being average. To the point where you've got the choice of being great or average. So I don't want everyone to be, pushing for greatness or whatever. I just mean, if you say you're going to do something, do it to your best. And the word I hate is I can't be bothered. That means you've made the decision. No, that's the main thing that I dislike when is just pure averageness. Well, so look, guys, I think we could probably go on for another hour, but I think that was a fair bit of information.
A lot of information.
No, I think the point of it is, you are what your habits are, if that makes sense. Your habits sort of dictate who you're gonna be, whether that's in that day, in the week, in the month, in the year, or just in general, who you're going to become. I think, I hope the guys find this of value. We're going to be sort of releasing more content like this, not just around property and, like I said earlier, on the market, but just general how to sort of master oneself. Not that we've mastered ourselves or anything like that, but exactly. We're constantly evolving. For me, it's every 6 months, For somebody else, it might be every week, whatever it may be. But what do you think, guys? I think that was
let's wrap it up. We're gonna go.
Yeah. So fair bit of content, but
it's good. It was
all right, cool.
Sweet. I think it's good to see you all next time. But no, I think one thing to add though, just before.
Oh, here we go.
One thing. I think adding to obviously you are obviously the habits, but I think you are what you think of yourself as well. So
true. That's for another podcast. That's for another
podcast.
Yeah. All right, look, guys. Look, I've been Collins Isaiah,
Max Stewart,
and Ben Garbutt.
I see you guys all on the other side. Bye for now.